It was a stormy night in late October. The kind of night where the wind howls through the trees and the rain smashes against the windows so hard, it feels like it might tear the house apart. Emma sat curled up on her couch, wrapped in a soft blanket, a cup of tea in her hands, staring out at the dark, wet street. That's when she heard the knock. A hesitant, almost apologetic knock, barely louder than the wind. At first, she hesitated. Who could it be at this hour, in this weather? But something in her heart nudged her to open the door. There, drenched and shivering, stood a man she had never seen before. His clothes were soaked, his shoes ruined, and his eyes carried a deep, silent story of exhaustion and worry. "Please," he said softly, his voice almost lost in the rain. "I don't have anywhere to go tonight." Emma hesitated. She didn't know this stranger. She had bills to pay, a family to care for, and the idea of inviting someone in, especially a complete stranger, felt risky. But something told her this wasn't about fear. This was about kindness. She stepped aside. "Come in. You can stay the night." Before we continue, if you enjoy heartfelt stories that remind us of the power of kindness, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Story Hub, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories like this to life. Emma led the man inside and offered him a dry towel. He shivered as he dried himself, and she handed him a warm cup of cocoa. The warmth of the drink, combined with the cozy glow of her living room lights, seemed to settle some of his tension. "My name's Alex," he said, his voice quieter now that he was out of the storm. I didn't know where else to go." "It's okay," Emma said gently. "You're safe here." As Alex warmed up, he explained his situation. He had recently lost his job, and with it, his apartment. He had family out of state, but it wasn't easy to reach them, and the storm had stranded him in town. Emma listened quietly, offering small reassurances, not judging, not asking for explanations beyond what he was willing to share. After a while, Alex managed a tired smile. "I don't even know how to thank you." "You don't need to," Emma said. "Sometimes, all people need is a little help, just for one night." That night, Emma went to bed with a heavy heart mixed with hope. She wondered what had led Alex to her door, and what might happen next. The next morning, the house was quiet. She got up early, brewing coffee, her mind drifting to thoughts of Alex. She hoped he had slept well and that maybe, somehow, the world would be a little brighter for him today. When she went to check the living room, she found something she hadn't expected. Alex was gone, but on the kitchen table, there was a small envelope addressed to her. Curious, she opened it and found a handwritten note. "Emma, I can't thank you enough for last night. Your kindness reminded me that even in the darkest times, there are people who still care. I left something for you, a small token of my gratitude. I hope it brings you joy the way you brought me comfort. I will never forget your generosity." Inside the envelope was a simple keychain, handcrafted, with the word hope engraved on it. A small gesture, yet it carried immense meaning. Emma felt a lump in her throat, realizing that a single act of kindness could ripple far beyond what we imagine. Later that day, Emma was walking to the mailbox when she noticed her neighbor struggling with bags of groceries. Without thinking, she ran over and offered to help. And as she did, she realized something profound. Kindness isn't just about dramatic gestures or grand acts, it's in the small, everyday decisions. A helping hand, a listening ear, a warm meal for a stranger, it all counts. Over the next few days, Emma thought often about Alex. She wondered where he had gone, whether he had found stability, whether her brief act had made even a tiny difference in his life. She didn't hear from him again immediately, and that was okay. The memory of that night, and the way it made her feel connected, human, and compassionate was enough. A few weeks later, there was a knock at the door again. Emma opened it to find Alex standing there, holding a bouquet of flowers and a huge smile. He had found work, a small apartment, and more importantly, a renewed sense of faith in people. "I wanted to thank you in person," he said. "Not just for the roof over my head, but for reminding me that kindness still exists in the world." Emma invited him in, and as they sat together sharing stories, laughing and reflecting on the stormy night, she realized something essential: kindness is contagious. One act can inspire another, and the energy of good will never truly disappear. Alex stayed in touch from then on, not out of obligation, but out of genuine friendship. They shared coffee, celebrated small victories, and supported each other in ways that went far beyond that first night. Emma's small decision to let a stranger stay had sparked a connection that would last a lifetime. The story of that night spread quietly through her circle of friends. Emma never sought recognition, yet people noticed her warmth, her willingness to help, her ability to see the humanity in everyone she met. Some called it bravery, others called it selflessness, but Emma knew it was simply kindness in action, and that's the heart of the lesson. Kindness doesn't need to be dramatic. It doesn't need to change the world in one night. But it can change a life. Sometimes, all it takes is opening your door to a stranger, offering a meal to someone in need, or even just listening without judgment. These small choices have the power to ripple outward in ways we cannot predict. Kindness also has a strange way of returning to us. Emma realized that after helping Alex, she herself felt lighter, happier, and more fulfilled. Giving doesn't deplete us, it replenishes the soul. In a world that often seems cold, harsh, or indifferent, acts of generosity remind us that we are all connected, that humanity is alive in the small ways we care for one another. That stormy night was just one chapter in Emma's life, but it left an indelible mark. It reminded her, and reminds all of us, that no matter how busy, scared, or burdened we might feel, there is always room for kindness. Every door we open, every hand we lend, every comforting word we speak, is an opportunity to change someone's life. So the next time you encounter a stranger, a friend, or even someone you disagree with, remember Emma and Alex. Remember the power of a single, compassionate choice. One night, one gesture, one decision to care, it can create ripples that extend far beyond our imagination. The world needs more of these moments. We need more hearts willing to see humanity in one another. And the truth is, we all have that power. We can all be the reason someone believes in kindness again. Emma's story is a quiet reminder that hope, trust, and love often arrive in the simplest forms: a warm meal, a safe space, a listening ear. In those moments, strangers become friends, despair turns into hope, and the world becomes just a little brighter. So today, let this story inspire you. Look around, see who needs your help, and offer it without expecting anything in return. Because one act of kindness might just change everything for someone else, and for you. And sometimes, just sometimes, the morning after a storm brings a brighter, unexpected miracle.